Hello and welcome to the War on Error. Today we're going to be talking about the Tories. The reason being, they might not be around much longer. I mean, not just in government, but as an actual thing. I pray. Anyway, big hello to Dream Dancer and the rap metal hero and Liam North saying howdy and give me a little... I don't know, is that a ghost emoji? Hello. How you doing? So this week was the Tory party conference, and it was almost as much of a catastrophe as we thought it was going to be. It was painful. It was absolutely painful. It was a race to the bottom, and it's difficult to know what the actual worst bit of the whole thing was, whether it was that Jake Berry creep, who's actually from Liverpool. He's a Scouser. He was in Liverpool College, the private school, obviously, because he's a cunt. Sorry, not everyone who went to private school is a cunt, but nearly all cunts went to private school. The ones who have got power, but that's another story. Anyway, he decided that if you get your energy bill, and it's 7 times more than it used to be, then what you want to do is you want to get a better job, don't you, you little twat? He literally, he said, he didn't say little twat. He said, you open your bill, right, so this is what you do. You go down in your slippers and your dressing gown, and you've got a bill, and it's on the mat, and you pick it up, you open it up. There's the bill there. Used to be, let's say, 50 quid. Now it's £700. And you go, oh, okay, well, what I need to do now is I need to get myself a better job. And that's what 16 million households have to do all around Britain to be able to afford their energy bills. But don't worry, the Tories have swooped in to make sure that no one pays more than £2,500 on their bills this winter. What? No. No. It's the average will be 2,500. So you might well get a bill more than that. Yeah. But Jake Berry says, get yourself a better job. Get yourself a better job. He said that on the fucking record, man. On the record. It's mad, isn't it? Isn't it mad? Adam's there. Big hello to Adam. Thank you so much, Adam. Starting a stream 10 minutes early. Who are you and what you done with Graham? I'm not 10 minutes early, mate. I'm literally 20 minutes late because I was intending to start tonight at 9:30, but I needed to make this graphic here, and then I started fucking around with stuff, and basically it all took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. Time management isn't one of my strengths, I have to say. But anyway, I'm here now, Adam, and just so you know, and everyone who's watching this knows, I'm going to be in Panama next week, not next week, the week after. I'm going over with Catherine for a few days. We're going to check up on Ishmael, see how he's getting on. I will be doing some live streaming from the island. I'm not there for very long, but I will be doing some live streaming while I'm over there to show you what's been done and what we've achieved since we were last there with Marcus. And also I'm hoping to talk to Marcus. He doesn't know this yet, but once I get over there, hopefully we'll be able to do a satellite link up. It won't be a satellite, it'll be an internet link up. And Adam, the reason why I'm telling you this in particular is that what I intend to do while I'm over there is to do a Monkey Island marathon on Ginger Island in the Caribbean. Yes, I'm going to do a Monkey Island marathon on Twitch on a tropical island in the Caribbean. That's my plan, Adam. That's my plan. So let's see how it goes. But as for how I'm going to pay for all this, as I'm sure you're wondering and going, Graham, you've got no money. What the fuck are you doing? Basically, this is all going on my Magic credit card, which is basically a card that I've got that gives me 20 months interest-free credit. So it's going on that, and then hopefully in 20 months time, I don't know, maybe I'll have made it, or I'll have a proper job, or I'll have died. I don't know, one of the three. Hopefully 20 months time I'll be able to pay off the trip over to Ginger. But the way that we're talking about it at the moment, I think we're just going to get over there and just sit on the island for a week. That's the plan. Buy some goods and things from town and take them over to the island and just basically sit on the boat dock for a week reading things and playing Monkey Island, obviously. Big hello to I just said the Rap Metal Hero saying hello from Sweden. Hello. Loving the backdrop. This is the backdrop that I keyed in during Liz Truss's speech yesterday. I keep this in as I was reading your messages and listening to the speech and giving a live commentary. I managed to find this image on the internet and key it into the background of Liz Truss's speech. So thank you very much. I agree that my producer definitely deserves a rise. But yeah, so but I like it. I like it, so I'm going to keep it, I think, for a little while until someone tells me that it's copyrighted and I have to take it down. So thank you very much, Dream Dancer. Young Ralph is saying evening. Hello, Young Ralph. My good mate went to Liverpool College. Lol, he's common as muck, says Liam. Yeah, well, actually, Liverpool College is not private anymore. It used to be when I was in school in the 90s, it was private. But it's not anymore. It's gone all public and shit. Just like the office of the Prime Minister. Cool, return to Ginger Island, says Adam Katie. So, Adam, what basically is going to happen? It's going to be return to Ginger Island, return to Monkey Island on a return to Ginger Island. It works. And when I took over the island, I was really tempted to call it Monkey Island, but there were no monkeys on the island. There's howler monkeys nearby on the island of Cristobal, if you look at a map, but no actual howler monkeys, on the island, which is good because howler monkeys are so loud they can be heard up to 5 kilometers away. They're very, very loud indeed. And also, if you get too close to them, just between you and me, if you see them up in the tree, you think, oh, I'll get a photo of them. They're up in the tree. They have a tendency to urinate at people if they feel they're getting too close to their tree. And if that doesn't ward you off, yeah, they will shit in their hands and throw it at you. Just like a Tory party member, I guess. Graham Haller, don't worry. Or if all the people get better jobs, who's going to fill the jobs they vacated? Well, not immigrants, obviously, because we don't like immigrants. Which comes to my second thing that was just absolutely horrific. So you had Jake Berry saying that if you get a high bill, that's got to be paid by the end of the month, presumably, because that's how bills work. You got, 28 days? In those 28 days, you've got to get a new job and get paid for that new job. Tell me you've never lived in the real world without telling me you've never lived in the real world, Jake. You fucking wanker. Anyway, so not to be outdone, Cruella Braverman, or Braverman, people pronounce it 2 different ways and it annoys me. Pick one. Cruella Basinger says she's got a cock nose. I just noticed today, actually, there was a picture of her. Someone said that she was like what was it? Russ Jones. Yeah, Russ in Cheshire. I think he said something about her being like a radiated gerbil or something. And she's got a cock nose. I only saw this today. I thought, oh, fuck, she's got a cock nose. And now I'm not going to be able to not see that. Anyway, but yeah, she went one better, saying that she dreams, get this, guys, she dreams of the day that she looks at the front cover of the Daily Telegraph, a shit rag for Tories owned by the Barclay brother. Not the Barclay brothers anymore, is it? Great. 1 down, 1 to go. Owned by the Barclay brother. And it says on the front cover of this fucking rag, it says, vulnerable women and children fleeing war, put on a flight to Rwanda, a country in the middle of Africa that no cunt who wants people to fly out to Rwanda knows where it is. Go out with a map of Africa with no names on it and say, where's Rwanda? Where is it on this map? Bat funk. And they'll be like, what? Where is it? Show me. You don't know anything about it, do you? The leader of Rwanda's been in charge now for 25 years? Is it? Paul Kagame? Is it 25 years? Can someone check that up on Google while I'm fucking talking and tell me in the chat? 25 fucking years? I think it's longer than that. Shit, it might be 26, 27 years. He's been in charge now. Yeah, great fucking democracy. Lovely. And you know, the place where the British government bought out to put these refugees in, they're not being able to successfully get anyone out there at the moment. But the place they bought out is a place where orphans, who are grown up now, but orphans traumatized by the genocide in which, you know, over 500,000 people were killed. I think it was 800,000 people were killed in the space of a few weeks with machetes. With machetes. And they were small children at the time. And now they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, and they're absolutely fucking traumatized by what they witnessed. They witnessed their mother being hacked to death with machetes. And they were thrown out of the facility, the hotel, the apartment block in which they were staying, to make way for refugees. Some of which might have been coming from, I don't know, Eritrea, which is only 1.5 countries next door to bloody Rwanda. You know, how cruel can you be? How utterly devoid of any kind of moral substance do you have to be that low? And the worst thing about Suella, she's a second generation immigrant. Her parents came over here from another place as economic migrants. And she settled down in this country. And she embraced the racism of the Tories, of the Tory party, the xenophobia. You know what, people from other countries coming here, we can't afford it. 1 minute they're telling us that we're one of the richest countries in the world. Next minute we're saying we can't afford, like, I don't know, to feed a poor and destitute woman and her child. Like, make up your fucking mind, Britain. So, not to be outdone with the horrific things to say, Liz Truss stands up yesterday and she reels off this list of the anti-growth coalition, and she included things like podcasters and people in North London. Why North London? I'm from the north, mate. The actual north of England. I don't know the difference between North and South London, except I believe that the South Londoners don't get much in the way of an underground and don't really have a circular in the way the North has a circular that you can actually drive along at some speed now and again, whereas the South is like, that's all I know. I have no idea. Anyway, this anti-growth coalition trying to stop growth. Do you know what stopped growth? The fucking Tory party being in charge for 12 years. That's what stopped growth. Do you know what stopped growth? Brexit. Yeah. Turns out, and stay with me on this, I know it sounds a bit mad, but putting up massive fucking trade barriers with your biggest fucking trading neighbours, you know those rich bastards who live next door, who've got loads of fucking money, yeah, putting up trade barriers to fucking trading with them, kind of, I don't know, stifles growth in some way. Who knew? Well, everyone. But apparently, we are now Brexit deniers. We deny the existence of Brexit. We're like atheists for Brexit. We're like, yeah, we don't believe it exists. We're still part of the EU, I tell you. I still have an EU passport. God damn you. And I say, good day to you, sir. Fucking hell. So yeah, the three fucking horse dicks of the fucking apocalypse. And then you had Rees-Mogg doing some performative shite where he walked through the crowds where he knew people would shout at him, "You're a cunt!" as he walked into conference. He's like, "Oh, they all hate me." You know that Black Mirror episode with the doctor who got off on causing people hurt or causing people pain? This is a fucking weirdo who's like, what, is he 53 years old and he still has a fucking nanny? He still has a nanny. He's 53 years old. Arrested Development much? Oh my God. Anyway, I think he gets off on people calling him a cunt. So, just in honour of Jacob Rees-Mogg, let's all call him a cunt. I don't know. Maybe he won't be able to stand up for a little while. Okay, Ernie Burns is here. Hi, Ernie. He says, I'm working, so I might not be able to interact, but I'm glad you're here, Ernie. Always good to hear from you. We've also got Slan Art saying yo, and I don't know if they're saying it like that. Dream Dad, I hope the Tories are in the death spiral. Well, I was trying to come up with the name for this episode. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of some kind of death spiral, death rattle this is the end of the Tories' end of the line or something. I just spent far too long trying to think of the name of this episode, and then I just came up with The Only Way Is Down, because obviously that's the opposite of The Only Way Is Up. And they also used Moving On Up by the M People. Obviously, The Only Way Is Up. There's a Dream song, isn't there? And then there's Yaz, isn't there? Didn't Yaz do a fucking song called The Only Way Is Up? I'm getting confused there. Anyway, Things Can Only Get Better, sorry, was Dream. The Only Way Is Up was Yaz. Fucking hell. What's in this fucking wine? Oh, wine. Hang on. Be with you in a minute. Okay, so M People, Moving On Up. Different song. Okay, 3 different songs. Okay, Things Can Only Get Better, Dream. Only Way Is Up, Yaz. And was it The Plastic Population? Was it Yaz and The Plastic Population? Someone correct me in the comments. And Moving On Up by Dream, which was... What the fuck is wrong with me? Moving On Up by M People, which was used by Truss to come on stage to yesterday at their fucking shitty conference, and it was just like cringe. Although apparently, according to the lyrics are like absolutely awful. Like you're fucking shit, you're dead, you've run out of steam, and go dig your own grave, motherfucker. It's something like that, something along those lines. I don't know it precisely. So there we go. Cool return to Ginger Island, Adam. Hello, says John Barleycorn. Hello, John. Hi, Graham. That's Hermione. And Slane Art said, did you see the news? Apparently we're running out of power now as well. Blackouts of 3 hours a day, even in business. Yes. So basically, we have no gas storage in this country. We had gas storage, but the Tories took it away. Because they're fucking arseholes. What more evidence do you need? So, if we are hit by a cold spike, is that a right word? A cold spell, a cold snap. Let's use the word snap. If we're hit by a cold snap and the temperature plunges to -5, -10, there's a very good chance that we're not going to have enough gas to power the power stations in order for us to have enough electricity to run through the grid to keep us all energized with electricity. So the National Grid has put in place, quite rightly, a plan to what to do if this happens. And the plan is they're going to turn all the power off for 3 hours, which is going to be loads of fun if you live in an apartment block and you're in the lift. Or if you live in an apartment block and you're disabled. Or if you live in an apartment block and you really don't want to walk up 14 flights of stairs. Now, when it comes to hospitals and things, and people on like intensive care units and stuff, they do generally have backup generators in hospitals. But still, oh my God. And something I learned just the other day, actually, we were talking about GDP and how GDP, there's a great quote by Robert Kennedy. You know, Robert Kennedy was John F. Kennedy's brother who got assassinated. John F. Kennedy got assassinated. Robert Kennedy got assassinated a few years later. Before he was killed, I mean, there's a great speech about GDP and about the fact that GDP includes all this kind of crazy stuff. It's just about money. It's just about money, transaction of money. And one of the reasons why, for a while, it looked like Britain was doing quite well in terms of GDP in the G7 was because of the 37 billion that the government spaffed up the wall on test and trace. That gets included in our GDP. Because it's anything we spend our money on, but it's also anything the government spends its money on. Plus exports minus imports, I guess. So, yeah. The government topped up our GDP by taking 37 billion pounds of money that they didn't have and spaffing it up the wall in an app. And then, an app that didn't fucking work, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget. And then you had these fucking, these gobshites, Quasi Quartang and Super Mario Quart. I was talking about this morning, Super Mario Quart. It's a game in which basically all your objects, you fire them at the people behind you. You can't fire them forward. And if you're in first place, you get all the blue shells. And if you fire a blue shell, instead of hitting the person in first place, like in normal Mario Kart, it hits the person at the back. Super Mario Quart. But yeah, super fucking Mario Quart and Liz Truss, the catastrophe. They have managed to cost the taxpayer At least 65 billion pounds that the Bank of England had to pull out of its arse to buy these fucking gilts off the government, because everyone was selling the fucking gilts because no one trusted the government. So they were like, shit, we gotta, well, and you look at the graph, it's like the price of the gilts going up and up and up, and then the Bank of England goes, right, 65 billion pounds. 65 billion pounds. That's £3,600 an hour, every hour since the birth of Christ. I didn't make up that statistic, someone else did, but fuck me. 65 billion on top of the 37 billion they spaffed up the wall, and the 20 billion that they've cost us by saying they're going to take money away from the poor and give it to the rich. And this is going to be the biggest transfer of liquidity, the biggest transfer of wealth from the poorest to the richest in British history. That's quite impressive, isn't it? I'm getting loads of messages here. Maybe my pants are on fire. Maybe my mic isn't on. I don't know. Okay, so okay. Okay. So yeah, basically, I'm being sent graphs like this one here about how fucked the Tories are. Which is great. Okay, if you want me to definitely read your message out, I will. I'll try and read all of them. But if specifically you got something to say, or you just want to thank me for doing these things, the super chats are open, so you can throw some money in the super chats, and that would be really cool. I planted some pies under my money tree. Oh god, this is something else. That's some young Ralph. What Truss said, where she said, oh, she's going to grow the pie, and everyone's like, pies don't grow. But this is from the Mike Graham school of thinking. He's a shock jock on talk radio who actually said you can grow concrete. He thinks you could, this was about this time last year, actually. He said you can grow concrete. And now Liz Truss is saying you can grow pies. And all these people who work for Greggs are going, you don't think it works like that? Do you think you can grow a pie? But their idea of saying, right, we're all obsessed with growth. That's the important thing. Oh no, that was Keir Starmer's line, growth. The Tories have just kind of stolen it. Someone pointed out that like growth without empathy and growth without decency and growth without an aim isn't a good thing. It's a cancer. That's a cancer. Just evil fucking growth for the sake of growing, and. The way this country's going, we're fucked. We can't grow until, as Sadiq Khan said on the radio this morning on LBC, he said, you're not going to grow unless you rejoin the single fucking market. And he's absolutely right. I heard him say that on the radio, and I was like, yeah, right, you fucking bang on. He's obviously going against Labour, what would you call it? Like the bottom line. What do you call it where they have to, the party line. He's going against the party line of Labour, saying that, but as the most powerful actually elected member of the Labour Party in the country, because don't forget Keir Starmer's still in opposition, he can't really do anything. Sadiq Khan holds a lot of power as Mayor of London. And he's absolutely spot on. We cannot grow as a country until we join the single market. And look, it doesn't have to be Labour policy going into the next election, because that's not the important thing right now. The important thing is getting the Tories out. But once Labour are in power, we need to put so much pressure on them to rejoin the single market that they've got no choice but to rejoin the single market. Sorry, I've still got this terrible cold. Because it's the only way to grow. And as I've said on these shows and on platforms and on stages and on interviews and everything I've fucking done over the last 6-7 years about Brexit, I've said, look, it's very, very simple. There is a block of very wealthy countries right next to us. And then you've got all the other countries in the world. And if you take away just 6 or 7 of those other countries in the world, of which there are about 150, you've got fuck all. And those 6 or 7 countries are the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, maybe Israel at a push. That's it. And then you've got all these fucking countries, including Rwanda, that have got fuck all comparatively. Comparatively. Lovely places, I know. I've been to them. I've seen them. I've hung out in them. I've probably got drunk in them. I might have had sex in them. I can't remember. I was drunk. The point being, like, they might be nice places to go and visit, but they're not going to buy our stuff. The people there, heart to gold, I swear, they don't have the money to buy our stuff. We need to export more things than we import to make coin. All right? It's as simple as that. And then once you're out of this very wealthy group of nations next door to us and you put up trade barriers to trading with them, there aren't any other fucking countries to trade with. That's it. End of. Oh, but what about Australia? It's on the other side of the fucking world and the population's about 27 million. It's tiny. And on the other side of the world, there's nothing that we make that they can't get from China, which is substantially closer, for a lot less money. It's as simple as that. It's geography. You know, we're not talking politics here. We're not talking opinion. We're just talking actual measurable geography, economic gravity. We haven't got the stuff that the people in developing countries want or can afford. We can't make them. They want cheap electronics. We can't make that shit. They want cheap clothes. We can't make that shit. They want food, cheap food. We can't make that shit. We make high-end stuff here. It's a bit like opening a fucking Apple store in... I don't know. There probably is an Apple store in, I don't know, the fucking capital of Mauritania. All right, Nouakchott. Yeah, maybe, right, there's an Apple store in Nouakchott, but I fucking doubt it. I have my doubts that there's an Apple store there. But if there was, right, it wouldn't get that much trade. I'll tell you that now. It wouldn't get that much trade. It would get a bit, sure, but not enough to base the entirety of the Apple fucking corporation upon. And that's what we've done. We've gone, oh, it's all right. We're going to trade with Mauritania. And we'll have a great trade deal with them. And that'll be great. Fuck me sideways. So, yeah. Sadiq Khan, absolutely on the money today. If you want growth, you have to rejoin the single market. There's no two ways about it. I'm glad someone else said it out loud, said it on the radio, because it's true. Okay, I'm going to run through your comments very, very quickly before returning to what I want to talk about. I planted some pies under my money tree, the magic growing pie tree, indeed. Oh my God, there's so many messages. Honestly, if you want me to read your message, you might need to throw in a super chat now, because there are a lot of messages come in and I am way behind in my catch up here. So is it legally called Ginger Island, like officially, asks Liam North? Well, if you type it into Google, it does come up as Ginger Island. It was really funny. I'm on Airbnb and Verbo and stuff, so that people can actually stay on the island, and it costs, I mean, it's listed as like $80 a night, but we include the transportation from the island and back, so it's more like, you know, if I'm being honest about it, it's more like $100 a night. But you get the whole island. Ishmael's still there and his family, so you've got someone to look after you. So I don't want people going over there and doing themselves a mischief and them not being found for 3 days or whatever. But yeah, so it's there. But what's really funny is I've got this listing, and it basically comes up as $80 a night, and then next to it is one of the luxury cabanas on the water on the island next door but one to me, which is called Bali Bokas. Bali as in the island in Indonesia, not Bali as in barley corn. Barley corn? Is that even a thing? Barley, you know what you make fucking beer out of or whatever. Anyway, so this fucking cabana with its own private fucking pool, I think it was something like $1,200 a night. And I'm like, Oh my god, I need to dig a private fucking pool on the island. $1,200? Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ. But yeah. So if anyone's watching this who wants to invest in an island and make money in dollars, which is still actually worth something, unlike pounds and possibly euros at the moment. But if you do, get in touch. So yeah, it is I don't know if it's officially legally is it called Ginger Island? I don't know. I don't know where you register that in Panama. You must be able to. I don't know. It's what it's called on Google. That'll do me. I'm late. First thing I hear is urination and worse. From Pineapple Boy. Good that. I love the advice of staying warm. Hug your pet for fuck's sake. Cheeky git, says Liam North. Yeah, indeed. Fucking stuff. Who was it who said stuff dogs down your fucking sleeves? Was that? That must have been Nadine Dorries, because God, she's thick as pig shit. Did she say put dogs in your sleeves? Can someone look that up? Come on, get on Google. Jesus. Sure he was in Bo Selector. Good evening, says Jacob. Hi, Jacob. Dream Dancer, I wonder if Rwanda would take some Brexiteers instead. That would be quite nice. Kagame in office 22 years. Thank you very much, Pineapple Boy, for getting me the right, correct time scale there. Rwanda president has been in charge since 1994. Well, if he's been in charge since 1984, that's more than 22 years. Pineapple Boy, get on Wikipedia. I thought he'd been in charge since just after the genocide. So, the lefty boater, evening all. Casper says hi everyone. The Tories of disgusting malignant growth. Yes, they are Hayes. Absolutely can't disagree with that. I want to stop a growth on my toe. Ugh, that's some chubby. Marg is like a comic book character, pure weirdo. He is indeed. Jacob Bates, indeed. Jacob Vargas Hamster says, have you heard about the nutters in Russia who refuse to accept that the Soviet Union doesn't exist? They carry around Soviet passports and even have a Soviet president. Is it Vladimir Putin by any chance? Anyway, Jeremy Goff has retracted his message. The Only Way Down song by John Lingard, says number 3. Hello, my lovely ginger, says David over in Spain. Hola, amigo. Nick and Diff, I'm here and listening but drawing, so limited interaction on chat. Apologies. Well, hi, Nick and Diff. We're thinking of you. Casper Northerner says hiya and gives an at to the lefty boater. Liam North, I thought we'd only got 2% of our gas from Russia, so how come we're short? Well, Liam, it's just because the price of gas has gone through the roof, because the price of all of the energy is set by the international price of gas. We can't do anything about that because it's just the mechanism that we're sewn into. Gas used to be one of the cheapest commodities to get hold of. Now it's the most expensive by a mile. But yeah, we've got no storage. We had storage, but the Tories sold it all off or mothballed it. It just couldn't be arsed paying for it. And now we don't have enough storage. It's as simple as that. And you don't normally need storage. That's the thing. And that's what they thought. Well, we don't need storage. I mean, we hardly ever use it. Yes. But there's always a thing called a rainy day. And that's why when you do, I don't know, a wargaming scenario for having a pandemic, for instance, and it says, hey, you need loads more PPE. And you go, oh, shit, okay, well, what we should do is we get loads of PPE that lasts for, like, let's say 10 years. And we put that in a big warehouse, and then if there is a pandemic, we've got that PPE and we can give it to people, personal protective equipment, and we can give that to the people in the hospitals and stuff like that, and people in you know, vulnerable situations, like people who work in care homes. But the government didn't do that, because what they did was we went, why are we paying for this PPE that we might not have to use? Why do we need to pay for this gas storage that we might not have to use? Because, I don't know, Russia might invade Ukraine. Anyway, Jeremy Goff, first verse. This is from Moving On Up by the M People. You done me wrong. Your time is up. You took a sip from the devil's cup. You broke my heart. There's no way back. Move right out of here, baby. Go on, pack your bags. There you go. Didn't play that bit. November the 5th, you see some interesting effigies being burnt. If anyone's thinking of causing some mischief this November the 5th, please get in touch. Patrick McCarthy, thank goodness Graham's on the antidote to Ian Dale. Does it tell you I met Ian Dale at the conference, at the Labour conference, because he was there as part of the the LBC team, maybe both. But yeah, it was basically I made a joke about him looking like Mick Lynch, and he took it in good humour. He did, I have to say. But yeah, it's pretty fun. He doesn't half look like Mick Lynch, honestly. He really does look like Mick Lynch. David's asking how I'm doing. I'm all right, mate. I'm just I've had this cold since I got back from the Labour conference last week, and I just can't shake it. And it's one of those really, you know, when your chest, it's like one of those. Me doing this. It's like one of those cans of spray paint where you shake it up and it's got like, it rattles. It feels a bit like that. Anyway, it's gross domestic product. Any activity counts. Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Number 3, Richard. I was saying that, wasn't I, about the fact that the government's 37 billion that they spent on track and trace, it doesn't work. The money that they wasted on PPE that didn't fucking work, that was all included in our GDP. A gross domestic product, gross. It speaks for itself. I'm gonna try and do this while you're watching, because but let's have a look. So this is what Robert Kennedy said about GDP. Our gross national product, but it's gross domestic product, same thing, now is over $800 billion a year. But that is gross national product. If we judge the United States of America by that gross national product counts air pollution and cigarette advertising and ambulances to clear our highways of carnage. It counts special locks for our doors and the jails for the people who break them. It counts the destruction of the redwood and the loss of our natural wonder in chaotic sprawl. It counts napalm and it counts nuclear warheads and armoured cars for the police to fight the riots in our cities. It counts Whitman's rifle and Speck's knife, the television programmes which glorify violence in order to sell toys to our children. Yet the gross national product does not allow for the health of our children, the quality of their education, or the joy of their play. It does not include the beauty of our poetry or the strength of our marriages, the intelligence of our public debate, or the integrity of our public officials. It measures neither wit nor our courage, neither our wisdom nor our learning, neither our compassion nor our devotion to our country. It measures everything, in short, except that which makes life worthwhile. And it can tell us everything about America except why we are proud that we are American. Fucking what a guy. Why did some stupid fucking cunt shoot him? Anyway, right, so that was Bobby Kennedy back in the 60s talking about GDP, talking about gross national product, which is the same thing. It includes all the horrible stuff, all the cigarettes that are fucking sold. I think, actually, didn't they readjust the amount we had to pay to the EU each year because it was based on our GDP, and they didn't include prostitution, it didn't include drugs, and I don't know if we had like a really good discussion about this. I'd like to have a discussion, not just with you watching this now who can type a few notes, but actually have a proper discussion about the legalization of prostitution, the legalization of drugs, because this is something I feel very, very passionately about. And as someone who has never taken drugs, as someone who's never gone curb crawling, it's not something that would affect me in any way, whether it's legal or not legal, but it does affect me. Because the illegality means there's crime surrounding it, and the crime affects us all. When someone breaks into your house to pay for their next, I don't know, fucking joint, or their next, I was going to break into your house to buy fucking cannabis, I guess, but if they break into your house to fund their next hit, then that is something that's affected you, even if you've never taken drugs in your life. But yeah, I'm getting off my point here a little bit. But basically, I think the EU started including all the what's the word for it? Not counterfeit, like, you know, narcotics and things. All of the underground economy, the black market. That's it, the black market. They include the black market in the assessment of what our GDP is. So it just included everything. It's included everything horrible we make. Because, you know, this is surprises a lot of people. We make a lot of fucking guns in this country. For a country that has no fucking guns, like, even our police are not armed, which is great. Because imagine the Met Police with fucking proper weapons all the time. I mean, they're bad enough when they have weapons now and again. But imagine if every Met police officer had a fucking gun. That would suck. That would really fucking suck. But yeah, the point is that, like, we make so much arms. Up till fairly fucking recently, we were making, like, fucking landmines. You had Princess Diana in the 90s leading the charge against landmines. So, you know, we could dig the ones that have been put down in Laos and the ones that have been put in East Timor. We could dig more. So they wouldn't maim a child 30, 40, 50 years down the line. And at the same time, our arms manufacturers were actually selling landmines to the Indonesians to go and plant in East Timor. I mean, it was just like, fucking what? What are we... Yeah, and that would have all been included in our GDP as well. So yeah, thanks, Richard, for that point. It's gross domestic product. Obviously, I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but this is my show, and I can do what I want. This is the War on Error. So yeah, Walsall FC fan club here, says Andrew Wilkins. That's great. I guess he's a Brum then, I guess. John says our credit rating should be down to junk status by the end of the year, by the way we're going. Well, it's already fucked. Our credit rating, our Moody's credit rating and Standard & Poor has been going down since the Brexit referendum, and then we pushed Brexit through, and now with these clowns in power, I mean, it's going into negative rating territory. No one's going to lend us money because we're not trustworthy enough anymore. We're heading from we were an advanced economy. Then we were taken down to an emerging economy by Boris Johnson and his mates. And now, under Kwasi Kwarteng and Liz Truss, we're becoming a sub-merging economy. That wasn't my joke. Someone else made it first, but I like it. Anyway, 37 billion is enough to buy Twitter. Twitter, says Pineapple Boy. Yeah, it might be. Fucking Elon Musk. He's a twat. He came out with some shit this week about the Ukrainians just give up to the Russians because, you know, I've read some tweets and I watched a YouTube video and it said that Ukraine was historically part of Russia, so they have to give it back. Oh really? Oh really, Elon? Well, do you know something? South Africa, you know where you're from, that used to be part of the British Empire. I think we'll take that back. How would you feel about that? Historically, it was ours. Historic. Oh, you live in America now, you say? Oh, you know what else used to be part of the British Empire? America, the USA. We'll just take it back. And if you don't like it, we'll just fucking kill you. No, actually, we'll torture you, we'll rape you, and then we'll fucking kill you. Because that's what the Russians are doing to the Ukrainians. But that's okay, because that land is historically theirs, because they owned it for a bit, you know. So if you think about it, you know, it should really go back to them if they really want it that badly, no matter how many people they murder, how many children they rape, how many lives they pull apart, how much trauma they cause for an entire generation of Ukrainians. Go fuck yourself, Elon Musk. Honestly, mate, you are the fucking worst of us. You think you're some kind of, like, I don't know, Tony Stark, like, amazing. Oh, I'm so clever. I'm just thinking about the future. This is the daft cunt who wants us to go and live on Mars. He's on fucking crack. You know, most of the time, Mars is a fucking long way away. Most of the time, it's further away from us than the fucking sun. And I know that sounds a bit mad. What? How can it be further away than the sun? It's going around the sun and we're going around. Yes! We're going round the sun, and so is Mars, right? The sun is 93 million miles from us, okay? And most of the time, Mars is on the other side of the fucking sun to us. or at least over that way. So it's actually further, except when, you know, the short period of time when it's going past us or near us. It's actually further away than the fucking sun. And you know what? The fucking surface of Mars does not have, or what Mars, the planet, does not have. It doesn't have a fucking ozone layer, you daft twat. And it doesn't have a fucking metallic fucking liquid core which produces magnetic fields which allows for the radiation from the sun, because the sun is a deadly laser. The sun's trying to fucking kill you. We have an ozone layer, right? We have electromagnetic fucking radiation coming out from the middle of the earth. That's what the fucking Aurora Borealis and Australis are. Fucking hell, we've got protection. We've got a blanket around the fucking world that stops us from dying from cancer caused by our cells mutating because of all the fucking radiation coming from the sun. Now, if you want to sit out in the sun every fucking day for 365 days a year, or go down the tanning beds for hours on end, you will get skin cancer because it mutates your fucking genes. That's what fucking radiation does, and the radiation from the sun isn't that much different from the radiation from fucking polonium, or the radiation from plutonium, or the radiation from fucking uranium, because it's just radiation. I know you got different forms of it, you got alpha, beta, and gamma, but it's still radiation. It fucks you up. And this idea we're going to have 1 million people living on Mars, what the fuck? Do you know what it sounds like? When I went to parties when I was younger, I still go to parties now. When I go to parties, and there's always that boring cunt who fucking, he's off his head on fucking cannabis, he's been smoking weed all night, and he goes, really fucking profound. I'm going to say something profound now. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense if we were all sober. Imagine if we all lived on Mars under a dome. Wouldn't that be amazing? No, it'd be fucking shite. It'd be absolutely appalling. It would be like fucking torture. Because if you somehow magically avoided getting cancer in the first year that you are on the fucking planet of Mars by, I don't know, wearing a spacesuit every day, oh, that would be fucking lots of fun, won't it? I'd love to just get up in the morning, be fucking spacesuit and walk around. Secondly, there's no fucking nutrients in the fucking soil because there's never been any plants there, you daft fucking prune. How are you going to grow things? How are you going to eat? Where are you going to get your food from? Are you going to eat those fucking pills from 1950s sci-fi movies? Where like, oh, he's eating his protein pill now. Nom, 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 nom. And he's walking around in a fucking spacesuit. And he wants 1 million people to do that. It's like, you stupid stoner twat. You just don't live in the... You know when you say you don't live in the real world? Elon Musk doesn't live in the real fucking universe. And the fact that so many people are taken in by this mad little twat, it's just embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them. I'm like, really? This is your tech god. This is the guy who comes up with the big ideas. All his ideas are shite. He didn't found Tesla. Someone else did. He fucking just bought it. And the only reason he got so much money for his fucking Zip2 program in the 90s was because Microsoft or whoever it was buying up all the fucking competition, no matter how badly it was fucking coded. Jesus, motherfucking Christ. Sorry, went off on one there, but Elon Musk can go fuck himself. He can go fuck himself to death. I don't give a fuck. He's a fucking menace. Him, Jeff Bezos, fucking, even Bill Gates, he's a fucking cunt. He's rehabilitated himself though, Bill Gates, hasn't he? Oh, he's your mate now. He's stopped malaria. Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. Number 3. Thank you, Richard. He said 20 quid is on the way. Woo! Yeah, I got a super chat. Thank you very much, Richard. You are an absolute legend. And it was really great meeting you in real life last week when you were down at the Labour Party conference in Liverpool. And hopefully next Labour Party conference in Liverpool, which is next year, you'll actually get a ticket so we can go in together. That'd be cool. I can't give a super chat. It's not open. Oh, shit. What? Oh, hang on. No, it is. Because Alexis G has said, sorry I'm late, and given £2 super chat. I don't know why the super chat's not open for you, mate. But must deserve that rant, says Pineapple Boy. I'm sorry. Went off on one there. It's not just stoners, Graham, says Richard. Yes, I know. Look, all things being equal, it's a good laugh at a party when, you know, it's way past 2 in the morning. Everything's sort of winding down, and you just start talking a load of shit. That's fine. I don't mind that. That's quite fun in itself, right? And in the morning, you can't even remember what the fuck bullshit you were talking. What I'm saying is that Yeah, Elon Musk sounds like someone who's that stoner at 2 a.m. at the house party, but actually he's in charge of some kind of multi-million fucking dollar corporation somehow. And he's like, let's do this. You know, it's like that episode of The Simpsons when Homer is allowed to design a car, and the shite that he comes up with, and it's just like, what have you done? Oh my god. Anyway, moving on. My rig is up. Want a co-host, says Wayne. Wayne, I texted you earlier tonight to get me on the bin, and you never got back to me, you bastard. Oh, I don't know. The economy can't grow anyway because of the high inflation. The inflation will just swallow any growth we create, says Duke Vengeance. Indeed. But then again, I mean, the inflation means we're spending more money, so obviously that's more GDP. Unless you mention dollars, I guess. Geography in UK schools is all about weather cycles, but now not where stuff is. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. My knowledge of the world in terms of geography was shite when I left school. Honestly, it was shite. Okay, I'll give you 2 examples. I didn't know that Singapore was an island. I had no idea. I just thought it was a country like Cambodia or Thailand or something. I just thought it was a country. I didn't realize it was an island. I didn't realize it was a tiny little fucking city-state. I didn't know. Also, Brunei, I thought was in the Middle East. I thought Brunei was in the Middle East, right? And Borneo, I thought was in South America. I thought, because Brunei is actually on the island of Borneo, which it shares with Malaysia and Indonesia, Kalimantan, Sabah, and Sarawak. I know all this stuff now because I've fucking been there more than once. But when I left school, I knew fuck all about where everything was. Honestly, I knew fuck all. And that's the way most people in Britain know. That's all they know of the world. They know what they learnt in school, which is fuck all about where countries are. And it would have really helped because if you can visualize the fact that these countries are a long way away and not very rich, you can probably realize that when people go, oh, it's okay, we'll trade with the rest of the world. You can go, that's what, where? And let's nail this down now. Where the fuck are we going to trade in the rest of the world that's not Europe, that's going to give us the kind of return on investment that we get in Europe? Where? Oh no, it doesn't exist. Maybe in Mars. Maybe we should go to Mars with Elon Musk. Maybe we could trade. We'll wait for them to set up a little trading post with 1 million people in spacesuits and no food and dying of cancer on Mars, and we can trade with them. We can trade with those people. You know, once the planets actually come round in a cycle, because obviously they're going round at their own speed, we're going round at our own speed. We go around the sun every 365 and a quarter days, and basically, you know, we've got to line it up so we can get a shot over to Mars. And then it might be a few years before we can come back, because obviously we can't go further than 93 million miles to the sun, which is the middle, okay? And Mars is on this side. That's fucking double, okay? That's 186,000 miles, because it's on the other side. Actually, it's a bit more than that because it's further out than the fucking Earth. So it's probably about 200 fucking million fucking miles. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. What are they going to do? I mean, just what? And breathe. Okay, trickle down, but gush up. Ooh, hello. Oh, sorry, Ernie. Yes, sorry. I thought you were talking about something else there. Pineapple Boy, Geography in UK Schools. I've read that one. Graham, can speak to my mom at the main guest room for you to run away from the UK. Oh, thanks, David. That's very kind of you. Most stories think that the UK spans the globe, something that means the whole world. They probably think England's the most important place in the world. Yeah, Rudy Kaluda. I don't know if you remember in the 90s, there was a show called Harry Enfield and Chums in the UK, and one of the sketches, it was a comedy show, and one of the sketches was called Mr. Chumley Warner Tells You About Different Things Each Week, and it was done like a public information film from the 1950s, and they would have a globe of the world. It's all like, you know, bad audio with static, and it was black and white, and they'd always have a big globe of the world, and for some reason Britain was like the size of Africa. It was absolutely mad. It just took up the whole of the Atlantic Ocean as they spun the world around. Indeed. Have you heard from Israel or others over in Panama if prices have gone up there in the past year like everywhere else? Ishmael, sorry, yeah. I spoke to Ishmael last week. He didn't mention that things were more expensive. I sent some money over for Pickle, the dog. And basically it was 1-to-1 for me to send money in pounds to dollars because they use dollars over in 1-to-1. Because you know when they say, oh, well, it's 1.13 now. Yeah, but you don't get that on PayPal. You don't get that on, exchange. You get like $1.06. And then you've got to pay £3 for the transaction fee. And then you've got to pay to take money out your bank account. Oh, fucking hell. They ain't got you one way. They got you another. What's it all about, eh? Okay, send me the link, you cunt. We've just wrapped on the pin. I don't have a link. I don't have a link for you to join me on this. Wait, I've spoken about this. I can't do it when I'm going out live. We need to set it up in advance. So, I don't know. Respond to your messages when I send them to you, Wayne. I hope the Tories haven't given you the horrible bugs. Well, no, it wasn't at the Tory Party conference. It was the Labour Party conference. So, yeah. Although there were a lot of Tories there. GB News was there. Tom Harwood was there. Jartan stole your hat gimmick tonight. Says Wayne. That's disgraceful. I've actually got a new pirate hat, because this is the pirate hat I wore for the Queen's funeral here. But I've actually bought one from the fancy dress shop for playing Monkey Island with. So I'll be taking that over to Panama with me. I'm tempted to do group sessions on Twitter around such issues, slowly girding my loins. That sounds like a good plan, actually. I wouldn't trust the police with a toilet brush, let alone a baton, says Duke Vengeance. It's very true. Oh my God, that must have been a little fucking while ago, because I've been talking about a lot of things since then. It's like bouncers, says Ernie Burns. You can only have too much or not enough. There's no trouble. They say, why are we paying these people? When they go, they say, where's the security? Yeah, good point. Very good point. You don't really like Mars, maybe try a Snickers marathon. Hey, very good. And thank you for getting the old name correct as well. God, it was so much better when it was marathon, wasn't it? It's one of the few times where I think something in the past was better than it is now. Marathon is a much more satisfying name for a peanutty chocolate bar, right? Than Snickers. Snickers just sounds like knickers. Or Snickers as in, like laughing, but in an old book. So it'll say, oh, you don't come round here anymore, do you? He snickered. And you're like, oh, no one uses that anymore. That's really weird. But yeah, Snickers, terrible name. Terrible, terrible name. Starburst. I don't mind that, honestly. Opal Fruit, Starburst, I don't give a fuck. When they tried to change the name of Cocoa Pops, though, that's where I draw the line. It'd be funny if Musk was blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, there's loads of messages. Top of Everest is far more hospitable than any part of Mars. That's entirely true from Chubbai. Cube of jelly, all your nutritional needs. Matt Damon grew potatoes on Mars. That's from Nick. Yeah, just about. Oh my God, imagine living off potatoes, slowly dying of cancer in a fucking spacesuit. And and the fucking coldest. It's minus fucking 50 on a hot day. Minus fucking 50. What are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do? You know, it's funny. I years and years ago, I was in Bolivia. I was in a place called Potosí in Bolivia, and it's the home of the world's biggest silver mine. It's a silver mine that's been in operation now for over 400 years. They reckon 1 million people have died mining silver in this mine over the years. And there's two sides of the mine. There's a corporate side where you work for the mining corporation and you get paid minimum wage a day, basically. And then there's the independent bit of the mine where literally it's a free-for-all. You can just chip away for weeks, days, months, years, decades. And if you find some silver, you're free to sell it yourself, and you'll get money for that silver. So you've got the choice whether to do a salaried job digging, or you can go for broke and say, well, maybe I'll find loads of money, so I'll do just the independent side of things. But you can, as a tourist, you can go into the miner's shop and buy yourself a hard hat and dynamite, funnily enough. And yes, it does look like the dynamite in Wile E. Coyote. Like, seriously, it's sticks of dynamite, and you get a fuse, and you cut the fuse, and you put the fuse into the dynamite, and then you light the fuse and you throw the dynamite and it blows up. And you just go in the shop. You don't need to give any ID or anything like that. You can just go into the miner's shop in Potosí, in Bolivia, and just buy this stuff. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is because I went on a tour of the mine. And I was down there maybe for 2 hours. It might be shorter than that. It might have been an hour. I don't know. But I have never been so happy to see the sun in my life. Like the actual sun in the sky, not the fucking newspaper. Right, calm down. Like, after 2 hours in a mine, and it's dark, and it's dirty, and it's dank, and it's claustrophobic, and you're banging your head all the fucking time, and there's just a fucking hole. There's a shaft going down. There's no barrier around it, and it just goes right down 100 feet. You look down, you like shine your torch down. Think, fucking hell! You just stand back. You walk through and you've got to be stooped over because, you know, it's just uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable. You're never like feeling like, and then there's pressure, there's gas coming out of these conduits. They say, don't touch the wall. Don't touch the wall. That's like cyanide. Cyanide, I think. Like literally on the wall. Don't touch the rock. Don't touch the white bits. You know, that'll kill you, especially if you lick your fingers. So you're in this tube of poison. You're bent over because you can't stand up. You can't stand up fully. You know, I'm not that tall. I think I'm average height. I'm 5'10". You stand and like you get out. You can finally stand up, and the sun is hot, and you're like you've been in this dingy little fucking hole, and you've been walking. You haven't been working. I mean, this isn't like you've been down there fucking chipping away. This is just on a tour. This is just going down and walking through the fucking thing. And you come out the other side and you're like, oh my God, I can breathe. Oh my God, I can feel the sun. Oh my God, I can stand up straight. I mean, imagine that, right? Imagine that feeling. That was after 2 hours down a fucking mine on Earth. Imagine being uncomfortable to that degree. For years. For fucking years. Before you come home to Earth, I guess. One day. Maybe. I don't know. You probably wouldn't. Maybe you just live out your rest of your life. Your cancer-stricken life on this fucking planet. But that's torture. That is absolute 100% fucking hands down torture. And Elon Musk wants to put 1 million people through that. And do you know what? There's 1 million dickheads out there who'll go, yeah, that's great. I want to sign up to that. No. Don't sign up for the torture dome. Anyway, so it's not just donuts. Yeah, even Mark Wahlberg's character had to use poo to grow potatoes on Mark's. It wasn't Mark Wahlberg. It was Matt Damon. Fucking, what's his name? Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon. Matt Damon. What's that to understand? The moon can be reached in 3 days. Mars is a 6-month trip. No, it's definitely more than on Mars. On almost, not saying that proof of primitive life existing on Mars in the past. Yeah, bacteria. I don't think it's going to be very tasty. Sounds like a bad 80s movie. There is water on the moon. Wayne's saying, check your phone, you complete cunt. He's such a charmer. You're such a charmer, Wayne. Why am I checking my phone? Have you been texted? Is that what the buzzing is going? Oh, here we go. StreamYard. I'm here for yours now. Only just seen this. Let me in. Oi, I'm no bastard. Send me the link and I'll jump in. I don't have a link. I don't go through StreamYard. This is going through Restream. And I have a free account. I can't get someone else onto the show. Sorry, and I'm not set up for it, Wayne. I can't get set up while I'm doing the live show. Well, I could, but it would involve at least 20 minutes of me like this. And I don't think anyone wants to watch that. So anyway, I'm wrapping up soon because I've been talking for over an hour. But thank you very much for all of your wonderful messages. Mr. Chumley Warner, love it, as Unique alluded. The universe appears to be a desert full of oases. It is a desert, definitely. I think they did some studies on astronauts Mark and Scott Kelly. They're twins. One went to space and the other had less bone density when he returned. God, that's a bit worried, isn't it? Casper Norman says, I missed 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s. Well, you know, there's more. There's a whole moon program going on, isn't there? With NASA at the moment, they're trying to get. Is it the Artemis rocket that they keep trying to get up into space, but wind comes along and causes problems. Musk will find his bounty on Mars after asking for the galaxy. Interestingly, galaxy means the Milky Way. Gal meaning way and lac meaning milk, like lactate. lactic acid. So if you say the Milky Way galaxy, you're really saying the galaxy. And since Wayne is watching this, Wayne, your mate, James O'Brien, made an absolute tit of himself on the radio this morning. Or this afternoon, because it was mystery hour, and someone called in to say what would happen if the planets what's it called, lined up, the planets aligned, what would happen? And James O'Brien went, there'll be an eclipse. And I'm sitting there going, what an eclipse is caused by the moon going in front of the sun, and we're sitting on Earth and the moon's in front of the sun, and it cuts out the light from the sun because it just happens to be the right size, perspective and all that. To just be able to take out. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's a bit further away. Sometimes a bit closer. Sometimes, it didn't actually take out that, and you get this kind of like halo around. But like, it's the moon and the sun, both of which are not fucking planets, mate. Like, seriously, what, an eclipse? Do you think we could possibly see as a transit of Mercury and a transit of Venus, because they're the only two planets that are between us and the sun, and the transit of Venus only happens once every 200 years. Well, actually, no, it does twice every 200 years, quite close together, about 14 years apart, I think, every 200 years. I missed the transit of Venus in 2012. I was in Sri Lanka at the time, which my really good old friend Arthur C. Clarke, good drinking buddy, old Arthur, he claimed was the best place to see the stars, and I happened to be in Sri Lanka at the time. I was in the Gumbo, and I went down. I got some welders. I got some welders goggles and things, so I could try and look at the sun, because I wanted to watch the transit of Venus. I wanted to get my camera and zoom it in and do all these filters. I got these filters and things to get this shot, and it was cloudy. Oh, well, in 2 years' time, great conjunction. He just read a tweet. It cuts out the sun. I hate that newspaper. That would be good. Mystery hour questions going to be dumb as F. Why am I my first birthday? Did you hear that one? Why did they say you won when you actually, it's your second Christmas? I was like, you're 1 year old. You're not 2 years old yet. It's not been 2 years since you were born. You're in your second year, though, so that's cool. I'm because I'm 79, right? Get this, 79. I was born in 1979, so that was 70s. That was my first decade. 80s, second decade. 90s, third decade. So I entered my third decade when I was 11, and then I was 10. I was 10 when I entered my third. No, it was 11. I entered my third decade, and then the noughties. That's my fourth decade. The tens, which is my fifth. I'm in my sixth decade now on this. My sixth motherfucking. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Are you really 79? Yeah, I'm 79 years old. No, I was born in 1979. You have great skin. Oh, thank you. It's just what can I say? It's low resolution. I'm a low resolution fox. You meet me in real life, you're like, oh my god, you look like Methuselah. What's wrong with you? Didn't we have an alignment of the planets back in 2012 and nothing happened? We had an alignment of the planets this summer. This summer, 3 of the planets aligned. I think it was Jupiter, Mars, and Venus all aligned. And if you got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you could see them all in a line along the plane of the ecliptic. Ecliptic means the different types of taste, doesn't it? Eclectic taste. No, elliptic. The line of the elliptic. I think that's right. But basically, it just means you see them in a line in the sky. That's it. It's all about perspective. I have a numerous rounds of applause and a Ray Liotta. Fuck you, loser, and your team is shite, says Wayne. Wayne's very angry this evening, and yes, he has had a Ray Liotta, which I haven't had on James O'Brien, and I felt like I should have got one on the question of how long it would take to get around the world without flying, since I am the fucking world authority on getting around the world without flying, because I'm still the only person to have done it to every country without flying ever. So I should have got a Ray Liotta for answering that question, and I didn't get one. I just got a round of applause. And I was having a conversation with Kieran, the van driver, when we went over to Luxembourg earlier in the year, and it was me, and I was with Wayne. Wayne was on speakerphone, and they were both laughing about the fact that they had both had Ray Liottas, and I hadn't. Bastards. Jupiter has been the closest for 59 years last month. That's pretty cool. A policeman in a big raid in Piccadilly Circus kept calling me Buddy. I got a bit nervous and shouted, I'm 63 and I'm not Buddy. That's fair enough. It's like when someone says, mate, calm down. And you go, I'm not your fucking mate. It's always a good thing to say. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Nick says Sadiq Khan on LBC. If your obsession is growth, the easiest way, the quickest way to get growth is to join the single market. By joining the single market, you increase growth almost overnight. Absolutely right. I touched on that at the beginning of the show. Right, for those of you who weren't here at the start of the show, I'll be here. I think I'm doing a show on Monday. So look out for something on Monday. But failing that, I'll definitely be here next week. I might do a show on the Wednesday because I think it's Prime Minister's Questions. But I am heading back to Ginger Island next week. I'm going to Ginger Island with Catherine for about a week, 10 days, I think. So I'm going to be taking my camera with me. I'm going to be taking my phone with me. I'm going to be doing some live stuff from the island. Hopefully, I'll be able to have a chat with Marcus Allshorts about our time on the island while I'm on the island. Also, something I'm really looking forward to, Adam's managed to wangle me a copy of Return to Monkey Island, the game, the LucasArts game, the Lucasfilm Games game, and I'm hopefully gonna do a Twitch session playing Return to Monkey Island on the Return to Ginger Island. Actually, play the game on the island. See how far I get. You know what? It's gonna be a bit mad because, like, obviously I'm on an island. I don't really want to be playing a video game. That's a bit mad, but I think it'd be quite fun to be using, I don't know, the solar power on the little solar panel we got on the boat dock and playing a video game on the boat dock of a tropical island in the Caribbean, playing a game about being on a tropical island in the Caribbean. So yeah, please do tune in for that. And I will, originally I was going to just do it in pirate voice, but now I thought, well, actually I'm going to Ginger Island. I'm going to take my pirate hat with me and my eye patch and my inflatable parrot. Yes, I bought an inflatable parrot, and we'll be pirating it up over in Panama. Just like Captain Morgan. So there. What's your Twitch channel? Shit, I don't know. I think it's Graham David Hughes. It's either Graham David Hughes or that Ginger Scouser. But there's nothing on there at the moment. But if I do that, I'll probably simulcast it onto YouTube, so you can just watch it on here if you want. But I'll also have my Twitch up, so if you want to communicate with me via Twitch, that'd be cool. Monkey Island play along, I'd lend you some bandwidth. Thanks very much, Wayne. Jetting to your private island for the weekend like a good working class lad, says Pineapple Boy. I'm not going for the weekend, we're going for a week and a half. And yeah, cheeses out of a Ray Liotta, disgusting. And as I explained at the beginning of the show, the only reason I can do this is because Halifax was stupid enough to give me a credit card a couple of months ago, and it's 0% for, I think, 20 months or something. It might be 18 months, whatever it is. Basically, this thing is going on the credit card, and then in 20 months' time, hopefully, I'll have a proper job. That's the plan. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. We've ripped the Tories a new one, I hope, and Elon Musk especially, and the idea of living on Mars. Fucking tangents, what can I say? There's a lot to talk about. The ironic thing is, all last year you broadcast the Ginger Island fix-up on Twitch while falsely claiming to be playing Monkey Island. The Twitch votes once bitten, twice shy. Yes, but that was Monkey Island, not the return to Monkey Island. Do you know what? I didn't even realise that was still coming up on Twitch, because no one watched it on Twitch. It was all on YouTube, wasn't it? Hope your throat gets better. Thanks, mate. Obviously, I'm dying of cold here, but you know, just enough education to perform. Did you ever play the Broken Sword series? Similar style game without the piratiness? Yeah, it was on point and click, the Broken Sword. I think I played Broken Sword 1, but no, I was a huge fan of the LucasArts point and clicks. I just fucking loved them. I played them right through from Maniac Mansion, Zack McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, through to Loom, which is one of my favourite video games of all time. They were planning to make a trilogy. I really wish they had done. It was just very, very clever and inventive, and I really loved it. Monkey Island, OVS was just fucking amazing. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, which still to this day just stands up as one of the best point-and-click video games of all time. They had a bit of a wobble. I mean, I didn't like the Dig that much. Full Throttle was quite fun with the graphics and everything. I loved Sam & Max. Sam & Max just blew me away. But then, yeah, then it just... You know, they went out on a high, didn't they? I think the last official point-and-click kind of LucasArts game was Grim Fandango. And to this day, I still quote Grim Fandango when someone wants me to write something clever in one of my books or something to them, like a little dedication. I write the last line from the game, which is, nobody knows what's waiting at the end of the line, so we might as well enjoy the trip, which is... fucking that, you know, if it was a movie, they would have won an Oscar for that line. They would have won an Oscar for that line, but it was a video game, so what you gonna do? Why not make the Fate of Atlantis and the fourth movie instead of the Crystal Meth Skull? I don't know, Pineapple Boy. I just don't know. Kevin Hegarty, thank you so much. Kevin's just come in to say, okay, I'll just say hello all and good night. Kevin, you are an absolute motherfucking legend. And Kevin knows why I'm saying that he's a motherfucking legend, but you really, really are a motherfucking legend. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, and Charlie's just turned up and said, hi up, Charlie. I'm getting off now. So if anyone wants to head over to the Discord server, I don't know if I'll be able to get over there. I've got to do the washing up. I might chat to you while I'm doing the washing up, but if anyone wants to head over there to After Hours, then please be my guest and go over there and meet up. It might have been a while. So until next time, thank you very, very, very much for watching. And I'm going to leave you at my lovely list of patrons. So big thanks to everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who's dropped some money in, either through Patreon or YouTube membership or through the super chats. And yeah, thanks for not being Tory Brexit knobheads. And keep up the good work on that front. Hiding in the shadows, waiting, says Duke Vengeance. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back on Monday, I think. But if not, I'll definitely be back for PMQs on Wednesday. So look out for that. And in the meantime, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.